what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah.
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah. Keep listening.
Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. I know you can hear me. Here we go. Marge, you stay there. You stay there, girl. We gotta set our camera up. Hey, there we go. Woo! Coming in hot. Hello and welcome into the Thursday edition of your show. I am your host, Gary. So happy to have you along with me, as you can tell. Real people doing real stuff. This is a real solo show, as we got a jam-packed one for you here today, and looking very, very forward to getting it going, as the Thursdays editions are always so much fun. Normally we got Matt Young from CTV, the human energy drink. He is not here, but you still got me, and we still got Marge, and we're hanging out, and we got a bunch of cool stuff to show off to you on today's show. You have to refresh the cameras. Note to self. Future Gary, we're going to have a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure moment here. Future Gary, remember, you have to reset the cameras so they come online so we can see each other here as we make our way through the Thursday edition. Host, great to have you. Still, as far as we know, the only show going live Monday to Friday, 4 to 5 p.m., scheduled viewing. Originating out of Saskatoon, and always so proud to be able to say that, because when you're doing something no one else is doing, that's how you stand out. I also want to give a very special happy birthday to my firstborn nephew, my sweet, beautiful Benjamin. It was his birthday yesterday. I thought there was a supper today that we were going to. It got moved, and I thought the actual birthday was today. So, bad uncle right here. Benji, I love you. You're my sweet, beautiful prince, and I hope you had the best happy birthday there yesterday. To thank you for joining us on this quest to make the world a better place, one human being at a time. Yeah, golden rules. That's what we're all about here. Treat others how you want to be treated. Realize the world doesn't evolve around you. Help other people, and then they will help you. And that's how we get to the point where we want to be. Okay? That's sort of our rally cry around here. And to thank you for being a part of it, we have a camera, and she is in position. So I'm going to run over here, and we're going to get this Maggie Cam going. Bear with me. Whew. A workout today, Marge. Stay right there. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the Megan. Nice work, Marge. Beautifully done, as always. The Mega Cam, proudly brought to you by our fantastic pals over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. They are and always will be your pet's natural grocer. When you walk through those majestic doors at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your day gets better, your pet's day gets better, dare I say your life gets better each and every time. We always tell you about good people, local businesses doing great things. That's Mike and Rochelle. They run the place over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. And they do something similar to us around here, as they have a greeting dog as well. And their greeting dog is named Leroy, and he is absolutely beautiful. He's got a bed set up right beside the door when you walk in, so he says hello. When we walk in there with Marge, Leroy literally grabs Maggie's leash, brand new buckle up collar and leash, by the way, matching. He's got the Marvel one, Spider-Man all over it. And Leroy walks Marge all around the store, and they have a lot of fun with that. As we go and buy her Go brand dry food that she loves so much. It makes her coat so soft and smooth and silky. And the experience just keeps getting better. Mike and or Rochelle will walk you through it. They got all the toys your heart desires. Walls covered head to toe, top to bottom. They have aisles also full of toys for you. And the same goes for treats. Buckets strewn throughout the facility. Every Tuesday and Thursday, they got bones on sale for you, so you can load up with a discount. And that's always nice. You got to enjoy that. They also have a puppy spa. If your puppy needs a spa day, the best one in town is at Pet Planet on 8th Street. You walk right into the back. It's all self-contained. They got the shampoo. They got the rinsing. They got the blow drying. It's all there contained in one big, giant basin, and it's fantastic. Everyone here uses it, and I highly suggest you as well because the price is incredibly right. Very, very good price on it, and the results are always fantastic. Literally, you're walking out of a spa. You look that good when you leave the spa at Pet Planet on 8th Street. As well, they got crates, they got the beds, they got the fashion. We got the big Labor Day Classic coming up. You want to get your pup ready? They got rider jerseys, all right? They'll hook you up. They also have incredible, fantastic, amazing, dare I say, aisles full of medicines and all the other stuff that your animals need. They got the licensing stuff covered for you. Everything right there. The raw foods in the fridge at the back. If you're looking to change that raw food diet, they got you covered. And if that's not enough, the cherry on top, if you will, they do have everything open for you after hours and on weekends as well, thanks to Kirsten and Chris. So all of that and so much more waiting for you, always thanks to our fantastic friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. They are your pet's natural grocer. And now I have to run back and flip the cameras. Here we go. Good job, Mark. You did great. Yeah, I'm proud of you. You're a good puppy. You're a very good girl. Get you though. All right, you guys. Here we go. Oh, man. Exercise. How do people do it, right? Gee whiz. I do want to say a special hello as well to my lovely sister Stace and the kids. She's got Griffey here, my man GT3. She's got Gracie here. She's got little Gussie here. Gussie and Marge were playing earlier today. Marge gave him a big old kiss on the face, and Gussie, like, not even a year old yet, just a little tiny baby, but he's rolling around. They had a lot of fun, so hello to them. I'm going to see them later tonight. Very excited for it. Today is Thursday. Again, no Matt Young. CTV's Matt Young, real job. Usually, this whole place, when I say this is the realest you'll ever get, it's run by real people. I'm the only person that doesn't have a real job, so all the other people, they have real jobs, and lots of times those come before this place, which they should. So we filled the time as a brand new episode right there. You see it now. Good Sports, Saskatoon's only local sports show, the only one putting a spotlight on all those sports none of the mainstream media wants to cover. We got you. And our main man, the host, Ryan Flaherty, always doing really, really awesome stuff with Good Sports. And he had another great guest this week. We're going to play a little bit of that interview for you now. And the whole episode is up, so you can go and check out the whole thing after this. But for now, we're going to give you the main interview from Good Sports, episode 15. You can find it on the network. And I am going to find the button that says you can play this now. Very quickly, wait for it. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy Good Sports.
Good sport!
All righty, time to welcome in our guest for this week, someone who has had the privilege of winning a national championship both as a player and as a coach with the Saskatchewan Huskies women's basketball program, among many other accomplishments as well. But we'll keep the list short just for the intro, and maybe we'll get into some other stuff as we go through this interview. It's Laura Daly. Laura, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to throw a weird curveball at you right off the top here because you were in Europe this summer, and we will talk in detail about that. But I also know you played in Europe for a little bit.
I did.
So my question is, because you were in Germany, right, when you played, is the food in Czechia any different from German food, or did you get to try anything new on this particular trip?
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of starches, the potatoes. And they love a bit of pasta and meat, but a lot of starches. Yep.
Pilsner, you have a few Pilsners?
I did.
A few Pilsners. Yeah, you got it. That's the national drink, I think, in Czechia. The reason you were there, of course, was your first chance to coach with the national team at the U19 FIBA World Cup. So just how was that? What was that like?
Yeah, it's, when I competed as an athlete, like that's the goal, right? A World Cup, top 16 teams in the world. So getting the opportunity, first time coaching internationally at that level, I was like super grateful for the opportunity, and one of the most competitive environments I've been in, from like training camp all the way through. So yeah, I learned a lot.
Was coaching something you always wanted to do, or like when did you kind of when did that crystallize for you?
Not really. Like when you're playing and basketball, when I was an athlete, it was everything. I wanted to play pro, and I really didn't give much thought to coaching or kind of life after that. But yeah, the game brought me back. So when I came back from playing professionally and was in Saskatoon, Lisa brought me in for some skill work with the girls, and it kind of evolved from there. So yeah, just really missed the game outside of playing, and it brought me back to the program.
So Team Canada, and I know you've worn the jersey, right, at a few different levels for Team Canada. So what was that like to get that call to say, hey, we want you to be part of this program and come coach in a World Cup?
Yeah, well, it kind of brought back that call or that conversation when you are told as an athlete you've made the 12 or whatever that might be. So it was awesome. And on staff, it was kind of a full circle moment. The other assistant, Natalie Achanwa, we played national team together at the U19 level. So
wow.
Yeah, it's just really awesome to be at that stage with her.
I was going to ask you about her because, I looked at the staff, and obviously I believe that was her first time coaching with the national team as well, right?
That's right,
this summer. And for those who don't know, obviously one of the most decorated, Canadian national team players. I think the only one to play 4 Olympics, if I'm not mistaken, and of course WNBA, long time. But I didn't know that whether you had been acquainted prior to that. So just what was that like? Reconnecting and maybe sharing some old stories and trading notes about your careers, and now you're back here as coaches.
Yeah, well, her notes as her career are amazing. She's a great person, and we kind of reminisced. Like time, it didn't feel like it was that long ago, but it was. And she now coaching at Michigan has shared a bit about that and kind of what got her into that space. And just super. That's the game of basketball, though. Like in any sports community, it kind of brings you back to the people.
It's interesting to me because the Silas, or she is a Michigan, right? Or
she's at Michigan.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat that Natalie's coaching sort of one of the top women's players in the country right now that plays in NCAA, and you're part of the coaching staff for the top women's player in Canada and U Sports, Engage Grassic. So was there did you guys chat at all about that, about what it's like having elite players like that and how you kind of work with them?
Yeah, well, they're all like Sila and Gage are just wired the same, like highly competitive, a great person, selfless. They on court they don't really make mistakes. Like she's super consistent, not too flashy. So a little bit we bonded over that, and then really it came down to both of their leadership styles were quite similar.
It's neat how if you start to see those sort of parallels come through. Obviously, you get to work here with the Huskies with, in my mind, was one of the best coaches in the country in any sport, if not the best coach in this country, bar none, and Lisa Tomaitis. So, what sort of, did you ask her for advice? She would coach the national team for almost a decade herself, including when you were part of it. So what sort of conversations do you have with her before you kind of go into this first gig with the national program?
A lot. I ask her, for sure. She was the first person I told when I got the call, and just leaned on her, kind of like when she initially started, like, what was your first training camp like? Like, it's changed a lot with length of training camps and things like that. But just, what was it like? Kind of, what are those coaches meetings like? But she just said, just be yourself. At the end of the day, be yourself. You have a lot to bring to the table, and enjoy kind of this summer because it was super special.
Is there anything from playing for her or anything like that, and maybe it's not even something like you said that she's explicitly sort of offered as advice, but that you sort of internalized in terms of like a philosophy, or maybe something, maybe it's even a specific drill, like anything from Lisa's coaching style or approach that you have in yours or that you've taken from her?
I think there might be two. Yeah, definitely. There's probably 2 things. So the one would be her attention to detail. Like, this is a World Cup. Everyone's good. Everyone's athletic. So how can we take advantage of how certain defenses we're seeing and what that might look like? So just like really picking apart the game that way. And then like, how are we breaking that down in a drill, in a practice, in the prep? And the other would be like, you're U19 and they want to be treated like adults as they are. So just treating them that way in everything that we do. Travel, how they act in meetings, like just really leading in that sense and saying like, this is kind of what you want, so this is what it looks like.
It's like having a whole team of like the best recruits in like first year or second year players in a youth sports program, right? But all in one place. So I'm sure there is like, it's a little bit of a different dynamic when you're trying to work with the staff to figure out whose roles, who fits what roles, because all these players are used to being the stars of their own teams. What was that like to kind of figure that out and work out how all the pieces kind of fit together?
Yeah, that's it. And you're together for a short, like we were together almost a full month, which it's still a short time to kind of like role clarity and get some rhythm that way. But they're phenomenal athletes and players. So just being really honest and powerful with any metrics we kept with stats and such, for that was our feedback used on like style of play. So we found some answers that way, and just everyone got an opportunity to kind of play and show. But at the end of the day, being a part of a team, you have to take a different role sometimes. So just providing clarity with those conversations, and yeah, that would probably be the biggest thing.
Did you run into any? Do you get any pushback? Do you have players sort of saying like, I think I can do more or something different, or?
Yeah, and I think you see that at higher levels for sure. Like they're competitors, they want to play, and I actually think that's a good thing. So just like welcoming those conversations and working together, and how we can find a spot, what they need to work better at, like just keeping that in open dialogue. So
overall, obviously the tournament, you got to the semis, so you got to the bronze medal game, very close final score. You end up just 2 points shy. Just take me back to that. I know it's still, matches, I think, the second best result that Canada's had. I think they've had a couple of bronzes, but never been to the final that tournament. So just, what when you're thinking back to it now, what kind of plays in your mind in terms of that, especially that bronze medal game, and what maybe was the difference in Spain versus Canada? Yeah,
it's 7 games in 11 days.
Wow,
I think
that's a lot.
So, and talk about roles, like everyone's going to play. That's a lot of minutes to cover. But outside of that, that bronze medal game, Spain. So we saw them in exhibition play as well. So I think that was good for both teams. And not that we didn't come ready and ready to play, but they just are such a passionate country, and they are very, they're very crafty. So like their guard play, they can really pick apart a ball screen or play out a semi-transition. And I'm not sure specifically if this group has been together longer and what that might look like and play a part, but I would say that's what it came down to, that just the style of play, almost we weren't there yet on the other end of the floor. So still super proud of the 4th place finish, and but definitely left the tournament like hungry, and because it was the goal was to leave with the medal.
Yeah, and when you come that close too, I imagine like it's just that much tougher to swallow potentially. Do you, as a coach, how did those types of results resonate after the fact versus when you were a player? Like, is it easier or is it harder maybe to get over, or are you reliving certain things, or maybe it's timeouts in play? Like, what's that like?
I think it's harder.
Yeah,
I think it's harder as a coach, and I don't know. Maybe there's more like fixation on, like you said, timeouts, preparation, whatever that might be. And
And I wonder too, I've heard this too as well, because you can't actually, you can't be out there.
Yes.
So you're at some point you don't have any control. You can set your team up as best you can, but then they're the ones that end up having to execute the game plan, right?
That's right.
So I've heard that as well from coaches. Say it's sometimes harder because at some point it's out of your hands, and so when you're a player and you obviously have lived through that, there's some form of control there, whether you are able to make it happen or not. That's a different story. But obviously this year has come with a big high as well, of winning another national championship. And I will use similar question is like, how does that feel compared to winning one as a player? Because you were part of the first title with the Huskies, playing with them, and now you're part of the third one as a coach. What are the emotions? How are they similar? How are they different? I'm
just super grateful, but very different, right? Like 2016 team, a core group was back. The year before, a bit of heartbreak in the sense of just we wanted to, you want to win it all every year. So I think that got us to that 2016 team and winning it all. But the same kind of story also with this year's group that won, like we losing to Carleton in the national final, seeing them again. So yeah, just being through as a player, kind of the ebbs and flow of that season, and then as a coach as well was super special as well.
So were you able to kind of help prepare the players this year for that emotional roller coaster, having been through it?
Yeah, a bit, but they lead themselves so well especially when you have a leader like Gage. And obviously I'm there to lean on and have kind of been through it, but they were, after last year's loss to Carleton, like locked in. They were in the gym a ton, and it just showed like the skill level and the level of play was so high at the right time.
I see. I mean, you're different players, but I see some similarities between you and Gage, and just in terms of the type of player and where the role you played on the team. What's that like coaching her? And how much of yourself do you maybe see? In her.
I'll take that. That's very nice. Well, like very competitive. I'm a very competitive person. That we definitely have that similarity. I think like leadership, like lead by just like, she doesn't have a bad day. Like we say this about Gage, like showing up, and even if she shows up for her teammates, and just a super inclusive person. I think that goes a long way on and off the court.
There's another similarity because I was looking at your numbers.
Oh boy.
I was looking at, and actually, because we made a lot about this past year about where Gage, her improvements as a shooter. Mm-hmm. And I was looking back, and the leap that you made from year 3 to 4, shooting the 3, was actually pretty similar to the leap that she, in terms of percentages and that. So there's something there. But of course, your year 3 to 4 was also, you were changing programs.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm kind of jumping over here, but I'll get to that in a second. But when you're coming here to Saskatchewan, what was it, first of all, that drew you out to the Huskies after 3 years at Western?
I really wanted to win, and I didn't have a long time to kind of do that with only 2 years, and that was probably the main thing. Also, like a new conference that was really, Canada West it was just a different experience, and I was really interested in that. And then I think if you've been recruited by Lisa, having a conversation with her, you just kind of know. And if you have goals and you want to kind of level up your game, it's the place to be. And I kind of knew that once I met her.
So did she try to recruit you out of high school, and then just keep working on you, or was it sort of like in that off season? Yeah. In that summer after your third year at Western, or at what point did she?
Yeah, so not out of high school. I kind of say to her, I'm like, I don't know if I would have lasted like first year Laura, but no. So, and we didn't even speak until I kind of opened up that I was transferring, and we were connected through a different coach that we had a connection with, and then kind of took it from there.
And so, did you know anyone out here? Were you what was, because obviously that's a long way to go, away from home, and especially for there's all this stigma of people from Southern Ontario and the perception of Saskatchewan. And I don't want to paint everyone with the same picture, but I've had a lot of conversations with people who don't know a heck of a lot about Saskatchewan at all. So what did you know? Did you know anyone here? What were your thoughts, your preconceptions before you came?
I did not know anyone. Yeah. So when I came on my visit, it was a cold month. I can't remember when it was, but I had so that was my first time in Saskatchewan, and I remember 2 conversations on my visit. Was with Dallas Emerson. So she's iconic. She was amazing. But a conversation, we just connected over really wanting to win. I got to see kind of how she prepped for a road trip. It was just that was awesome with her. And then also an alumni, Lindsay DeGroot. So she played at Mac and was also a transfer to USask and has stayed ever since. So and that Lisa made those kind of meetings and conversations happen for me. That was really important. So no, I'd never been, but it's lovely here. I love my job, and that's why I'm staying as well. But the people here are what make it, the community, and
Well, you've kind of put down some roots here
I
now,
have.
right? Like you got married, you got the big fluffy, furry child,
Fur baby,
and
yeah.
exactly. So I mean, I think the program's obviously glad that you stuck around too. Going back to that 2015 though, I mean, you mentioned it. There was some heartbreak, right? You got so close. Those darn UBC Thunderbirds.
Oh, that game.
Freaking
man.
both the Canada West final and then the semifinals at Nationals as well. But I know that Canada West final especially was one that probably sat with you for a while.
That was the game. That's right. And we really wanted it. We had Cabry Howard and Riley Humbert on, like, two another like amazing guards in program history, but just great people. You want it for them. It was my first year on the team, first year kind of in a big game like that. So I think at the time I was kind of just feeling it all out for the first time, but that's the game.
Yeah. Do you remember that more than like the wins, or like is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, that's not an uncommon thing. I
Yeah.
don't think so. But I mean, to go through that, how much sweeter then did 2016 feel, to having been so close the year before and not being able to quite put your hands on it?
Yeah. That's kind of what sport is. Like, that's what keeps you, I feel like, what brought me back to the game and that kind of thing. It was very sweet, and also really sweet we got Sabine that year.
Well, I was going to ask, because you look and you go, okay, so you and Dallas were sort of the tip of the spear in terms of, the stats and that sort of thing, leading the way, scoring and sort of leading the offense. But the biggest difference in the teams from 2015 and 2016 is the addition of Sabina Ducati.
Yeah.
Like, how much of an X factor was she in helping you get over that hump?
Yeah, just like, she was it. Like, just big shots. Came in not a typical first year in the sense, like, she was a bit older. Like, she had some muscle behind her. Like, was ready to play at this level right away, and like competitor. Like, loved that.
She had some. I believe she has some pro experience too when she showed up too.
Yeah.
So,
and like the international game, like just different, a little bit of a different style. So yeah, that was awesome.
well, for you specifically too, that must have unlocked a bit for you, being that she was also a guard, right? Like, how did it change the way, as I'm sure, as that season went on, opponents started to throw more at her defensively as they got to know what she was doing for you. So did that open some things up for you? Did that change how maybe teams played you?
Probably. And like, yeah, she was just another creator on the floor, could get a paint touch and bring bodies and kick it. So just, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
What is your, aside from obviously the win, what memories do you have that sort of are the most lasting memories of that 2016 run?
Yeah. Oh, I love that we're talking about it so much.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's the whole point of this.
I love this. We were a really close team. We were like 1 through 12. There was more than, we had, I think, 13 or 14 players, but it didn't matter. Like, we were super close. Off weekends, we would be hanging out on the road. Like, just, I'd never been a part of a group like that as an athlete. So that was super special. Like, our Taya Kujer, her and Dal were dominant post players, but just like, she was such a great leader. Kelsey, Desiree, just great people, and we were quite close.
And something I also sort of noticed when I was looking at some of the stats from that year was how much the five starters really played heavy minutes that year. So did that take a physical toll? Like, how did you manage that?
Probably. I mean, you kind of want to play the whole game usually, but definitely, like, I would think it did, especially for Dal, like, because she really saw bodies in the game, and they're so physical. So, but when it's your last year, you kind of just give her, and like, you got that one goal in mind, and yeah, it all worked out.
I got to think too that the atmosphere at the Pack and playing there, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of other gyms that get those kinds of crowds. Yeah. What is that like, being, having that kind of following, that kind of support? Because for a lot of Huskies teams, a lot of the games, it's friends and family and maybe a few diehards, but you're truly had a full community support behind you. What was that like? How much did that lift you or power you in some of those close games? Yeah,
well, home court at the Pack is, it's so special, like you said. And I think that's kind of come from, Lisa's, like, the program that she's built and the winning and teams that came before us. Like, they're the 2011 Canada West team that won at home. like I wasn't there, but I've heard lots about it, and it was just electric and standing room only, that type of thing. So I think it came from the players before us, and then we just have super loyal fans.
You know what we got to get back going, though, is some form of the Chippin' Dads or
Oh my gosh.
something like that.
Yeah.
We need another parent fan group with, I don't know, that maybe do their own thing, but obviously I think that sort of ended with the last of the Humberts.
They at fifth year night, they invited, my parents were there and they invited my dad to be in it. And that's like, I was shocked. I looked up out of a timeout and I was like, oh my gosh. So that was super special.
I mean, I think I even did a feature on it at one point. I think I did a story back in the day. But I mentioned Humberts because you're not the only member of that crew that is coaching now, because Maddie was coaching Team Sask was it at the Canada Summer Games this year too? So
with Cabry.
Cabry as well. So like this, you get you're really getting everyone out there into the coaching community. So that must be fun when you, like, do you still get together with them at all, or you guys, what's the conversations like now? Are you reminiscing, or are you sharing coaching tips or talking about, oh, this player gave me this and I got to figure out how to deal with?
Yeah, no. Well, Maddie's and Cabry, they did such a great job this summer with that group, and phenomenal coach. But we still get together. Typically we don't talk about coaching. It's like, remember when coach did this or said this? It's really funny. And yeah, like just this past weekend, Riley, Maddie's sister, had a barbecue, and it was myself, Cabry, Dal, Jordan Halverson. So yeah, that's kind of what it's all about.
The thing that I noticed, and I mentioned this to Gage as well when she was here sitting in that chair, is what struck me at the national championship this year is the level of loyalty that the alumni have for this program. To see not even just recent grads like players that you played with, but players from way back, 70s, 80s that were part of those really lean years that still come out in numbers. What's that like to just, I mean, you must have met so many different former, Husky alumni over the years, and just get a sense of just how big that family is.
Yeah, Lisa is just, that's what she does, like create special people and groups of people that stay connected afterwards. Have met a lot, like even on the road if we're in preseason and a different, like in BC, like really anywhere, there's typically a Husky alum that pops up that just want to come say hi and meet the team. So it's another thing that kind of like culture piece that separates the program.
And I think too, for some of those alumni, especially the ones that didn't get to experience the success, there's a chance to now still be a part of that a little bit, that you've helped bring that to this program, and everyone can kind of share in that. And I think I've noticed that about what Lisa's done too, is that brought in all those people into that, be part of those championships.
They're the ones who like push the needle, right? Like got us there, and so she does a great job. I'm curious, I mean, you obviously spent a lot of time on the road. When you would get the schedule, and obviously you only had the 2 years in Canada West, but maybe after your first year with the Huskies, when you guys got the schedule for the next year, was there any places that you were excited to go to, or what were your favorite stops on the road? I think my fifth year we played at Vic in their new gym. That was awesome. Love going to Vic. Anytime you're on the West Coast is good. And then I love playing Regina, at Regina. Yeah.
That's one of the few other gyms that really gets big crowds out too, right? So that rivalry is tremendous. Is there some other, could you compare it to another rivalry? Like, how would you characterize that rivalry with Regina? Because you generally were winning more of the games, although they always gave you a good battle.
Oh yeah, they're very talented, and like from like a province perspective, having the two of us go at it with like being typically both of us or us making nationals, like that says a lot about both programs. What would I compare it to? Does UConn have a Tennessee maybe? Maybe,
yeah. At the heyday of that. I think. What I'm getting at is that I think that we sleep on the U Sports rivalries too much. And then, we need to market that stuff a lot better. I've been lamenting, as a little aside here, but I've been lamenting the hockey schedule this season because of the way the divisions are formatted. The men's hockey Huskies only play the Golden Bears twice.
Okay.
And like there's one of the rinks doesn't get to host a regular season series this year. And I'm like, this is one of the best rivalries in all of hockey, in my opinion. And you're, not giving the fans an opportunity to really enjoy it. And plus those games sell tickets, right? So there's all those things that I think, we could have a very long conversation about what we need to do to help promote youth sports in this country. We do a lot more to do it, but I think juicing those rivalries is certainly one way to do it. Although it's neat to see Gage Grassick and Jade Belmore playing together 3x3 this summer. Obviously, Jade plays at Regina. I'm jumping back sort of the present here, but we were joking before we started. This has been sort of the summer of Gage because you guys win nationals, and then she goes off and she's playing 3x3. She's going to Chile. She's at the Junior Pan Am Games. They win gold there. So just kind of back to coaching her and what's that been like to kind of watch her continue, to use this platform and just kind of continue to ascend?
Yeah, really special. I think. Yeah, you just love being on court with her, whether it's like in a team dynamic or just like in a small individual one-on-one, because she's always trying to get better. Like she just keeps kind of pushing that envelope and wants to work on something new. And that's probably the best thing about her. Like she's such a great person, and I'm really looking forward to spending last year with her.
Yeah, one more ride. You dabbled, before we get to that though, you dabbled in some 3x3 yourself.
Yes.
What was that like, making that switch? Because it's a totally different game.
Oh my gosh, it's so physical. Yeah, and I was very fortunate to get just even the opportunity to play with Paige and Catherine and Michelle. We were in Romania, and I just have so much respect for that group. Like their travel days are not easy. They play sometimes I'm not sure the scheduling, but more than one game in a day, and it's very physical. And you just got to be super fit. The ball is moving, and you got to be a 3-level scorer player. And on both sides of the ball, you got to be able to play some defense as well. So it really is the perfect game for Gage in that sense. So yeah, really, that was awesome.
How did that come about for you? Was it, did Paige reach out, or like what was
it reached out for sure, and we were training a bit together in Saskatoon, and they needed a body, and I was I wish I was in a bit better shape at the time, but I just went out and competed.
I mentioned off the top as well that you did play some pro, and I was looking back. And that was something you had put out as a goal for yourself pretty early on. What was that experience like? Do you wish it had been longer, or did you get enough of a taste, or how would you summarize sort of that phase?
It was, to go from such a high, our 5th year of winning, and then I think I played some national team that summer and then left end of August. It was great. It was just to be in a different country, different cultures, and you're getting paid to play the sport. I do wish I played a little bit longer. I think, and just experience maybe another country in that sense. So that's why I like different coaching opportunities. This is so awesome, but really enjoyed it. Would highly recommend if any athlete gets the opportunity to do it. You learn a lot about yourself because it's just you and the team, a new team. And coach. So yeah, really enjoyed it.
Were there any other Canadian players or North American players on that team with you, or were you was it all Euros?
I had a teammate she played at Lipscomb and Chattanooga. She was a transfer, but so her name was Ashley. She was awesome, more of a stretch 4. And then a guard from Czech who this summer I saw, she was on the U19 staff for her country. So
wow, cool.
Got to see Petra.
So there you go. Another great guest interview with Ryan Flaherty, a new episode of Good Sports out now. You can check out the whole thing, as he always does an incredible, incredible job. Thank you to Flats again, and everybody here at the network, man. I'm always so grateful, when you take a step back and see all the truly incredible stuff we're doing here, and good people creating really good things. Good Sports, another great example of that, putting a spotlight on all the different sports and people that don't get a spotlight around these parts. And it's very cool and special to be the only ones doing it. So great job in good sports. Be sure to check out the full interview as we continue here on the Thursday edition of your show. No Matt Young today, as his other duties have come up. So he's doing his real job like a lot of people. It is getting real close to supper time. You see the ruckus cock behind me. You know what's going on. This is your passport to greatness. Join the 69 Wing Crew. Head to Bugsy's, either location, Markham Mall or Lawson Heights. Pick one of these bad boys up. Start knocking out these flavors today. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Today is Thursday. Over half price off your wings. So go in there, get like half a side done, stamped up. I don't have the math for that, but I'm sure there's some math in there. So many incredible flavors for you to enjoy. I'm still saying the cinnamon bun, one of the best there. It's like a dessert wing. They got the creamy taco wing. It's a taco wing. It's incredible. So many more. We talk about them all the time. You need to try them, and this is your way to do it. You get them stamped off, and then once you're done, all 69 of those wings, you join the club. You become a member of the 69 Wing Crew. You get the ruckus cock shredding on top of his amp. It's all there. And I promise you, they're so good. They always bring us a couple of these flavors into the 13th Melon, our green and white show that we do, our watch party during the Ratter games. And they also bring us appetizers. They now have cauliflower bites, so you can get your flavors on those cauliflower bites. It's all here for you. Vegetarians, they got you covered right there. So check out the 69 Wing Crew. Join the team. And, yeah, supporting another great local business. Great people doing great things. Brad and Jen and their teams, we love you guys so much. You can also order on Uber Eats and skip the dishes. Just head to Smitty's, order a plain wing, and in the memo, put the flavors that you want from your passport, and boom, you're getting them, okay? As well, quick shout out to our friends over at Super Skills Hockey. They're in the Martinsville Rec Center, upstairs, over top. Like, you can see the ice surface from their facility. State of the art. It's futuristic, man, when you walk in there. It is time to get your kids ready for another hockey season, and they do it the best over at Super Skills Hockey, all right? So you can head to superskillshockey.ca and get all of that going on. As well, our buddy Kendall with a touch of positivity. They're doing another puppy massage pop-up going on this September. You can head or send an email over to a touch of positivity at gmail.com. That's PAWS activity, and get signed up for that. Marge uses her all the time. It's all about getting that better quality of life for your animal as they get older. They make sure all the stuff works. Maggie with only 3 legs, she's got hip and back problems, and Kendall gets in there and does all that, so you can get signed up over there. As we continue the Thursday edition of your show, we've had some changes around here, and lots of stuff getting lost in between. This is a little curtain jerk for you, pulling it back, as our sweet, beautiful network, Ryan, had to go out and get a real job. He had way too many responsibilities around here, and we're still trying to get them all covered up. But one of them was getting our Bamford & Co. Beyond the Keys shows posted on our YouTube here. And I think I finally figured it out. So the new episode up today for you. You can check it out with Greg and Ryan talking about the market. And you can see it on the network as well. We're going to play the newest episode for you now because really funny guys, man. This one had a great start to it. As the guy that produces all these, it was a lot of fun. I want to make sure we got out. So now please enjoy episode 47 of Bamford & Co. Beyond the Keys here on the Dufferin Avenue Media Network.
And a lot of that is affected by the new home pricing. So new home construction costs a lot more, and that's becoming unattainable for a lot of people. So now they're waiting to get into used homes just because of just the price point, right? Even if you look at new townhouses in Brighton or Aspen Ridge, what they're being priced out at, they're quite a bit higher than what they are on like Lind and Stonebridge and so forth, right? I was wrong.
Okay, what were you wrong about?
I was wrong when I believe that we're going to keep on seeing an increase in presentation of offers all the way through to the fall. The way that we were seeing it, it was seeing probably almost a 10% increase every single month of how many new listings were coming onto the market as of presentation of offers.
Right.
And what we've actually seen in August, and this could have to a little bit of effect with being July and August and things slow down. But we saw in August, it was 25% of listings were doing presentation of offers, down from 55% in June.
Right. Well, we touched base a little bit on a prior podcast, just kind of saying that unless properties were priced way under market value, is that they weren't getting the amount of offers. And I do think that it's not like our market slowed down,
Right.
but at the same time, it's just how we're presenting new homes coming to the market has changed. And that's mostly because the property values have went up so much. So people are getting a lot closer to, market value when they're listing their property, maybe adding $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 and seeing if they can get an offer quickly rather than waiting for that multiple offer.
For sure, it's I believe you're 100% right on that. It's they've increased to a price to where they're a top right now, and it's just and if it's a property that's fully renovated with everything done to it, you've had this conversation many times. If that property is perfect and ready to move into, and you don't need to do anything, people will keep on paying a top dollar for that over what I think the last ones have sold for. But those properties now that have increased to a certain point and need full renovations, they're not going up.
Right.
We might even see them, we might have even seen them decrease a bit in price just because of where things have cooled off with the presentation of offers.
Yeah, and I also think that people are becoming more educated, is that a lot of people haven't been looking at maybe what the construction costs have been, right? And I think that's why most things that are move-in ready are getting top dollar value, because those people are understanding, how much those renovation costs have increased over the last couple of years.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what do you see the numbers for, I guess, the beginning of August or July?
So right now is that we are, the 19th of August, is that we're coming in with a total of 869 properties across all of Saskatoon. 220 of those are conditionally sold. So realistic, 649 active listings in Saskatoon right now. That leaves 377 single family homes, and then 66 townhouses, 163 condos out there. So realistically is that I would say that we're, we need at least 3 times the amount of inventory than what we have until things would start to balance out a little bit. And realistically, in the next, I just don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, we've had Chris Corrett, the CEO of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Association, on our podcast, and we were just discussing where we're going to see that inventory, and it's going to take some time to be able to build that up. I know that the government and the city is working towards trying to figure that out, but that's not going to happen tomorrow, and a lot of that is affected by the new home pricing. So new home construction costs a lot more, and that's becoming unattainable for a lot of people. So now they're waiting to get into used homes just because of just the price point, right? Even if you look at new townhouses in Brighton or Aspen Ridge, what they're being priced out at, they're quite a bit higher than what they are on like Lind and Stonebridge and so forth, right? Yeah. And so it makes a big difference being in an older neighborhood rather than a new neighborhood.
For sure. Even though is that we've seen those, maybe not the presentation of happening, is that our market certainly hasn't slowed down. We actually had record sales in July as well, right? So
record sales for July itself, is that, or for the year, for July?
For July.
For July.
Yeah, and month over month is that we're seeing benchmark price just increasing.
And what is that benchmark price now?
Benchmark price in Saskatoon is coming in at $435,000 at the end of July.
It's a high price compared to what we used to be at.
Oh,
we used to be around that 355 to 365 for almost a decade, and it didn't really go much above that.
I think that we've been only in the last years we were just breaking the $400,000 benchmark, right? And that was probably, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was just at the end of last year, wasn't it? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So how much do you think we've went up this year so far on average price point?
Oh, I think that the average single family home is probably 40,000.
Okay, so percentage wise?
Percentage would be, roughly 8 to 10,
okay,
depending on the neighborhoods.
I was trying for him to admit I might have been right about one thing, because I forecasted 10% growth this year, so I just wanted, it's very hard for me to be wrong. So
well, you're very humble, Greg. Big day for everybody here. Well, you were I don't see that it's slowing down either, and I think that we still will see property values continue to increase. Maybe not in the presentation of offers side of things as much, but just to give you an example, last one that I listed is that we tried an extra $20,000 over. We didn't do the presentation. We had an offer in 4 hours.
Right.
Right. And there was no negotiations. They give us exact possession day. We basically eliminated 3 or 4 days of showings and still got, I think, of what is a great value. Right. But, you know, in the next couple of weeks is that we're going to see everybody back for school. The market's going to heat up more. We're going to see more listings coming to the market. It doesn't mean that inventory levels are going to rise. I think that they're going to stay pretty close to where they are right now. But the good houses, they don't last long.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just listed 2 this morning, and I mean, there's multiple showings on each one of them. I think one's got 8 and one's got 5. And I mean, we're sitting at 11 a.m.
Right.
Right. So.
And you listed that, what, 7 o'clock this morning?
It might have been a little bit later, 7:30, 8 o'clock, but
It's
yeah.
okay. Still well before the business hours.
Yeah, before the business hours. And but we didn't do presentation. We decided to pivot away from that. Rather than underpricing a property and then hoping for that price, we just thought, you know what, what's the best comp that we have? Let's price it at that and then see what happens.
Well, and the problem is if you don't get that price right off, like if you don't get multiple offers in a presentation, then you're in kind of a tough spot where your property's listed 50,000 under market value, and then you're saying, okay, what do we do next, right? So then you've already taken it, you've already taken it into the market and got your best exposure for the first week.
For sure. And I mean, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of realtors just because, I mean, even though we talk to each other all the time and try to figure out what it is, we're also filling out the market because we've got a lot of great relationships with a lot of other realtors in the industry. So we're like, what are you experiencing? Like, what's your thoughts on this, right? And it's overall, I think it's the same feedback a little bit. It's like there's a lot of people that have missed out and didn't get that multiple offer when it first came onto the market. And now they're like, okay, so we brought it back to the market $20,000 higher. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not.
Right.
And then just feeling that out, right? So
your first impression is the best, and coming in at the right price makes a big difference, doesn't it?
right, it does. Yeah, makes a big difference. And just prepping those properties, I think that's just as much, is just as important as it ever has been, but probably even more important now. So even though the price point has got to where it's at, a lot of people think, oh, well, the market's hot, I can just list my property the way it is. Unfortunately, it goes, buyers want to buy, and buyers want to buy something that's ready to move into, and so sellers have to actually do that work.
Yeah, and I think also from the mortgage perspective on things is that most people, if they're buying a $500,000 house, don't have $150,000 to go do updates or $100,000 extra that they're going to put on. So being able to include that all in your mortgage, not have to pay for it out of your pocket, and then try to do it as put it on your mortgage, that's difficult for a lot of people. So I think that's also why the time, the energy, and then also the financing beside of it makes a big difference for most buyers.
For sure.
So there you go. Couple of good old Bobcats right there representing the Bamford & Co. podcast. Full episode up on the network as well on their own YouTube channel. They're doing amazing things, man. Caroline and Ann and their team over there, they're always pushing the envelope as far as things you can do in this wild west that is the internet. So all the love to them for always putting on a great product. Highly suggest watching that full episode. A lot of thoughtful, good things if you're keeping track of the housing market in this beautiful city and province of ours. As we continue here on the Thursday edition of your show, getting set to wrap things up. If you got an event, you got something going on that needs to be heard. You're doing a charity, fundraiser, whatever it is. Your business maybe could use a spotlight. We got you covered, okay? Including the firefighters versus the police, the big hockey game going down, charity fundraiser, September 28th. Money going to the C95 breast cancer research. Very excited to be a part of that, as I will be your PA announcer for the event, announcing the lineups and, goals scored by number this or that. Definitely not Davey Nickel. He always says he's the best firefighting hockey player out there, and so he's talking about all the goals he scores, but apparently he didn't make the cut for this all-star team. So, we still love you, Davey. It's going to be a lot of fun. September 28th. Get some tickets, do some fundraising, support people that need it. That's what we're all about. So C95 breast cancer research, pretty important stuff. And I love all of our friends over there at C95. Shout out to them. And I'm sure we'll see a bunch of them at the big event. Firefighters versus police, September 28th. Get your tickets now. Something like that. You need help? We are here for you, the hyper-local voice of this city. Just send us an email. Get in touch with us, all right? Help us help you. And we even have a song for it. Just send an email to 1, 2, 3, 4. Contact@dufferinave.com. That is the email. This is the theme song. I gotta tell you, it's really weird doing the solo shows in here, like solo, no producer in the booth in the old tooth booth. Shout out to Dr. Funkhauser and Associates, a.k.a. Dr. Hausman and Associates, the big tooth on 2nd Ave, donating this lovely, beautiful set, and that includes this tooth booth right behind me here. It doesn't have the same ring to it. You know, when we have guests here, it's a lot more fun. You got a lot more people singing it. It's great. When I sing it by myself, it's like, oh man, my voice is horrible. What am I doing? Why am I always out here embarrassing myself? I realize sometimes it's pretty funny, so that makes it worth it. Updated website, dufferinave.com. That is where you find it. Head on over. Royal Anders has just updated it. It's fantastic, better than ever. A jabroni like myself who doesn't understand technology can maneuver this. That's all I told him. I said, just make it so people can find what they want to find on there. And he did. So thank you to Royal Anders for that. Do a little Brooklyn spin here, like you're in the bowling alley. Little Pete Weber. Who do you think you are? I am. Love Pete Weber. So nice to have the earpiece into and be able to hear that. And our Twitch stream tomorrow night, getting back at it. Chrono triggering, if you will. It's Brando and Gary Get Good at Games with Guests. Our guest being the Phenom. His first ever playthrough. It's a lot of fun. If you've never played Chrono Trigger before, one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Tomorrow night might be an early go time. We'll see. It'll be either around 5:30 or 7:30, right in that range. Mondays, we do Gaming with Brooksy and Phenom, doing some Mario Galaxy over there, as well as some Super Smash Bros. And Tuesdays, Uncle Brando and yours truly are playing... Anything higher? There it is. Yeah, frets just move like that, right? All the love to Matt from all the bands who joins us every Tuesday for the All Out of Angst edition of your show. That is the joining theme from Shining Force 2, meddled up by Matt. We are actually playing Shining Force 3 on the Sega Saturn. The only ones around here that are doing it, which is something, sort of a theme that we like to chase here. Do stuff no one else is doing, then you stand out. So, Sega Saturn, Shining Force 3, Uncle Brando and I on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to wake up Frankie. Beautiful. I keep thinking about putting a patch over top of that hole above me here. But then every time I think about it, I realize we're always sending this thing right up there. And it wouldn't get out if we didn't have that giant hole in the seat. Good stuff right there. Thank you to everybody. Man, this place does not exist without you. And it means the world. It's an absolute world to be able to sit here each and every weekday. And on weekends, because we do live shows on the weekends too with our 13th Melon. And set for Labor Day. By the way, going to be another classic. None of it happens without the good people that come in and out of this place every single day. So I thank you to Flats for another great episode of Good Sports. Full episode up now. You can check that out as well. The Bamford Bros. Said it before. A couple good old Bobcats right there. Ryan and Greg giving you a market update. That one also on the network, and you can check out their YouTube channel as well. They have their own. Again, doing great things over there. To LB for helping me through this. I always give him a phone call right before we go on. I almost had it this time, LB. I almost had it. Forgot to reset the cameras. Can't start a show without a camera being reset. So we got that done, and we made our way through. Tomorrow, oh baby, it's going to be another fun tape. I believe sales guy Derek will be in the house. Uncle Brando will be here. The return of Hardcora. We'll do some What's Going On with Flats. And so much more. So until then, thank you to you. I say it all the time, and I mean it every single time. Thank you so much for allowing a place like this to exist in a world that tries very hard to make sure places like this don't exist. And that makes it special, man. So thank you. Have an amazing, incredible rest of your Thursday evening. No Jays today. They got a day off before they get at it. Possible World Series preview. They're saying the Brewers, the best team in baseball, in town tomorrow, kicking off a weekend series with your Toronto Blue Jays. Shane Bieber, yeah, the new guy, the stud, the workhorse of the rotation will take the mound for your Toronto Blue Jays. His second start. Last one put up 6 innings, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. Pretty good return from Tommy John, dare I say. So he'll be on the mound tomorrow. Go Jays, go. We'll get you ready for that game as well. I love you so much. Thank you for always being a part of this. And remember, karma's very, very real, all right? Keep doing those good things that you're doing, and I promise you they will start to pay off, and those good things will happen to you, all right? Have a great rest of your Thursday.